We're now joined by Dusty May of FAU and student athletes from Florida Atlantic. Coach, we'll ask you to open with a statement. Then we're going to take questions for the student athletes only.
Well, we're extremely proud of our guys' effort in the ride they took us on for 5 or 6 months or however long it's been. These guys laid it on the line every single practice, every single workout, weight session, film session. They put a lot into this, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way. There's only one team in this tournament that's going to end on a win, and unfortunately it's not us this year.
Questions for the student athletes only. We'll begin right up front.
Hi, Zach Weinberger, Palm Beach Post. This is for Elijah and Nick. Can you just kind of go through the emotions? Obviously, an abrupt ending with the buzzer beater. Just what's the emotions kind of feeling like for you guys?
I mean, it's a bittersweet moment. I mean, I'm not dwelling on it much. I'm ready to get back to work. I mean, I'm happy for our team. I mean, we put FAU on the map, and that's what's most important to me. When I came to this school and I committed here, I said, this is what we're going to do. And, I mean, we took it to a new height. And all I could do was smile and be appreciative of the run that we went on, and just know, like, next year you're going to hear it from FAU again. You're going to see us in the same position, and it's going to be a different outcome. I promise that.
Continuing with questions for Nick or Elijah, up front, center.
Hello, Richard Pereira from FAU Owls Nest. This question is for Elijah. You kept your team in this game with 26 points, most out of anybody throughout the entire game. Despite this loss, how do you look back on your performance and for the team tonight?
I just thank my teammates because, you know, they did a really good job of setting me up and trusting me, and, you know, credit to Coach May trusting me too. But just looking back on the performance, you know, it just wasn't enough, you know, not to take credit of what we did. But, yeah, I mean, we're going to be back, you know. We're not going to hold our head too long. We're going to be back at it in a couple of days.
Second row.
Proud of you guys as your auntie. I'm really excited. I got to meet you guys at March Madness, obviously. But the whole country is cheering for you. What does it feel like to know that you've established yourselves as really good players, that every NBA player is watching? What's up with that?
You know, it feels good, you know, because we really took this university from the bottom to the top, you know, and to know what we did to put in to get here, you know, it just feels amazing, and just got to keep our head down and just keep going at it.
Sure.
All the way back to the left side, Tom.
Hey, guys, Tom D'Angelo, Palm Beach Post. I know there's not one point in the game you thought you'd be losing it. So knowing the buzzer had sounded and seeing that ball go through, kind of, can you both, what was the emotion?
We'll ask Elijah to take that first, then Nick.
Just thinking, like, just knowing that our season's over. You know, we had fun. You know, we never really wanted this season to end. You know, even if we was gonna win the national championship, we was gonna look forward to another game, because that's the type of guys we are. You know, we compete every day in practice. We bring it every day, and we just hard-working guys. And just to realize that something has come to an end, you know, it was devastating.
And Nick.
What was it? I was in shock when the buzzer went off, but I mean, it's a game of basketball. We had our fun when we did that at Memphis, and it just didn't go our way this night. And like I said, we got the whole team coming back, so Owls ain't going nowhere.
We have 1 more minute for questions for the FAU student athletes. If you have a question, please raise your hand. All the way back, right of the aisle. Myron.
Nick and Elijah, Myron McKiff, ESPN. I talked to D. Wade at halftime about you guys. He said those are some dogs out there. What does it mean for a guy like that to assess your team in that way?
Elijah first again, please, then Nick.
You know, much respect for D. Wade. You know, it feels good to know that a legend, you know, is giving us some credit. And, yeah, it just feels amazing.
Like he said, I mean, you grew up watching D. Wade, so that's an outstanding compliment. And, yeah, I mean, yeah, I appreciate it.
Final question for the Owl student athletes up front.
Yeah, question for both guys, Zach Weinberg, Palm Beach Post. It was a sort of frustrating in that second half. I know there was a point where San Diego State got a lot of offensive rebounds. You know, can you just kind of talk about maybe that sloppy second half? Are you guys kind of looking back at that point?
Once again, Elijah first, please, then Nick.
Yeah, man, they went on the run, you know, getting extra possessions, and that's what was really the turning point of the game. But just looking back at it, you know, we're not really going to allow that to happen again. You know, we've been through that one time, and we're not going to let it happen. So we're just ready for the offseason, you know, to get better, get stronger, be more physical. Let's do it.
Nick.
Yeah, I mean, if you look down the line for our losses, every single time we lost, we kind of lost the rebounding battle. So, I mean, just to pinpoint that right there, we definitely going to look into that. And I know Coach May will be cutting up film 20 minutes from this. And, I mean, like I said, we just ready to get better, keep working. And we got a group of guys that coming back hungry, determined, and sky's the limit for us.
We want to thank Elijah and Nick and congratulate them on a successful season and a fantastic run through the tournament. They're going to head back to the locker room, which should still be open for a few more minutes.
Appreciate you guys,
y'all.
man. Thank you. We'll be back for sure.
We'll be back.
Don't worry. Be on your team, man. Try to be on your team.
Questions for Coach May for the next 5 minutes. We'll start up front with the Palm Beach Post and we'll work our way through the room.
Hi, Dusty, Zach. Can you just sort of talk about that buzzer beater at the end of the game by San Diego State and how important is it to also just look back at what you guys have accomplished this season, again, taking the program to the next level here?
Well, obviously, we're very proud of the ride that we just went on. Our players, their consistency, their effort day in, day out, their camaraderie amongst themselves, they're special, special people, and their parents should be proud. We're anxious to get better, our program. That's the way we've been from day one. You're always in good standing in our program if you're trying to improve. I didn't have my best game. A couple guys didn't have their best game, and we're not going to dwell on it. We're going to hug each other for this season, and then we'll start thinking about how we can improve individually and collectively.
Coach, left side of the room, left of the aisle. Tom.
Hey, Dusty, congratulations on a great season. When you're able to process it all, though, whether it takes a week, a month, or what will be the memory? What will you look back at when you think about this entire ride?
How impressive it is for 18 to 22-year-olds to never. We talked about they never felt themselves. They're all about the work, the process, doing it together. Different guys stepped up each and every night. So the wins, the banners, all the stuff, you know, the young guys chase that stuff. I'm just proud to be a part of this group and to see them. They're ready for the real world. That's our job when they're done here. The winning's awesome, but these guys, man, they're going to go into the real world and be ready to knock it out of the park. So just proud to be a member of this team with this group. And when I look at a picture, man, I'm going to smile at the contributions from so many people because there's a lot of guys in that locker room, staff, players who really did it together.
Center of the room, Coach.
Robert Listella with Owl Radio. Dusty, what is it like to have players like Nick and Elijah who are just ecstatic to get back to work tomorrow rather than come up here with their heads down?
You know, I love coaching basketball because I get to be in a gym and really all you need are guys that want to learn, they want to improve, and we don't have all the answers as a staff, but we're looking for them. And these guys don't have all the answers as players, but they're working towards being the absolute best they can be. So I'm just proud of how they are, how they acted, and their families, our families, everyone that sacrifices so much. These guys just took everyone on a heck of a ride, and I've got chills just thinking about our guys and what that picture's going to look like.
Center toward the back, Lane.
Hey, Coach. Lane Higgins from the Wall Street Journal. And I'm struck by just how resilient Nick and Elijah just came across as, and that it wasn't really sad, mopey at all. Like, what does that say about the program and kind of the culture that you've established in Boca that that's the response after a crushing loss like that?
It just shows that a group of like-minded people have come together to try to do something special and bigger than themselves. I say it all the time. In this era, it's hard to find great teammates, even when things aren't going well for them individually. And we have a locker room full of them, and that's why we had the year we had. They work incredibly hard. They care about people. And it was never about them as individuals. It was about us as a collective unit.
Front left, Coach.
Yeah, Dusty, Dave Hyde of the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Congrats on the season. as was said up there, you had the buzzer beater against Memphis to win it. Now the shot goes in against you. You sat there and just your hands on your knees for a while. Tell us what's going through your mind, if anything.
We're obsessed with the next thing. If we win this game tonight, our players would sit out and want to watch the next game, and then we go back, and the assistant coach who prepared the scout, we would start asking questions, and these guys would sound like 35-year-old NBA veterans answering those questions. And so the hardest part is there's no next. And Mike Forrest isn't going to be in our locker room, a guy that gave a lot to this university. He has an engineering degree. He's a champion. He's a Final Four participant. And he's not going to be with us anymore. So each season there's change. That's the hardest part. But the only sadness is just that we don't get to do it again tomorrow. The NCAA makes us take a couple weeks off to regroup, and then we'll get back to work again.
Front and center, and this will be the last question, unfortunately.
Hey, Coach. Good to see you here tonight, and congrats on the incredible season. Richard Pereira from FAU Owl's Nest. You look back on this run in March Madness, getting a game winner against Memphis, beating FDU in the second round, and getting past Tennessee in round 16, then surviving Kansas State in the Elite Eight. And while it is ironic that you started this tournament on a game winner and then lose to a game winner, how do you look back on this tournament, and what are your biggest takeaways moving forward into the American next season?
Well, these guys have created memories and a legacy for a lifetime. People will be talking about this group for the next 50 to 100 years. And as far as the getting ready for the American, we'll be obsessed with being the absolute best we can be individually and collectively before next season. And we're not chasing this again. We're going to get in the foxhole, and we're going to work like crazy every single day with a great attitude, and we're going to enjoy the work. And then this is a byproduct of that consistency and that unselfishness. So we're not chasing this again next year. We're going to have a similar hunt that we had this past season. We're just each and every day trying to enjoy the work and enjoy doing it with who we're doing it with.
We'd like to thank Coach May for joining us here in the main interview room.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.